Hi folks, it's John from lastchanceautorest.com. I'd like to share with you another completed vehicle. We're just getting ready to load it on the truck. We've done quite a few test miles on it. It's had a complete ground up restoration on it. So this is a 1972 Volkswagen Bus or Transporter, depending on what part of the world you live in. So what we did is we have a nice two-tone. This blue is not an authentic Volkswagen blue. This is an exact blue to match a company color. And they'll share with you later on who it is. They're going to letter it up and so on later on. The top half of the van is a true Volkswagen color. It's a cream white along with the cream white of the bumpers. So we're just going to basically walk around it briefly. Clients live far away, so we're just going to basically show them how it's turned out. They haven't seen it for quite a while. So you can see at the front we have all new weather stripping. We have a brand new windshield. We've sandblasted and powder coated the wiper arms. We have new nozzles on the front for the washers. We even sandblasted and powder coated the front bolts or nuts that go on the front. And we've got new wiper blades. The front nose, we have a newer antenna. This is one of those mini antennas. It has the authentic base, but instead of having the pull-out antenna with those 4 or 5 sections that always bend and are always in the way, these are new mini antennas that are supposed to be just as strong for reception. In the front it has the typical bus with the front grille and the mesh in behind. It has the traditional Volkswagen. We went with the chromed Volkswagen. You can see we have to clean it. There's some bug stuff from our road tests, but we've got the nice chrome VW insignia, which is original. It's an aftermarket piece. It should have been white with this bus, but we went with the chrome. We've upgraded the headlights. You can see our chrome bezels are all brand new. And we went with an upgraded H4 bulb. It's a sealed beam, and it's the H4 to give you the brighter lights. We've got the authentic marker signal lights in the front, this being a 72. And then the bumper is the 3-piece. They refer to it as the wraparound. There's a seam here, which we've put a protective vinyl, and we have stainless steel polished bumper bolts, and then new rubbers. So as you come around to the side of the bus or side of the van, once again you can see we have all new rubber weather stripping, new rubber glass channels. The trim excuse me, around the outside is all new, and then we have the nice polished handles, and then the new bezels that go around the handles. And then on the side we've got these louvered windows, and I've opened them up to show you what they look like. So they're on a crank. There's basically a knob or a handle on the inside. When we go around, I'll show you how that works. We've got the new seals that go around here. Excuse me, we're looking at the wheels and tires. These are an all-season Toyo radial tire, and they're brand new. They're a P185 7514. The wheels are sandblasted and powder coated, and then the center caps are a triple-plated chrome. And then we've got a new, all the brakes are new in behind there. It's disc brakes, and everything is new. When we open up the door here, excuse me, you can see the nice detail inside. We've got a 2-tone contrast, basically 3 different colors going on. We have the black rubber mat, the black matting in the sides, and then in the lower dashboard we've got this nice beige or neutral interior. So you've got the neutral interior down below with the upgraded speakers, and then you have the neutral door panels on both driver and passenger sides, and then we have the black accents, and then all new weather stripping going around, as I mentioned earlier. And then we've got the seat covers, which are an authentic basket weave, and they're a different, almost like a caramel color, and this would have been the original color of the seats in 72. We have a new steering wheel, and then there's something that we've changed. There's a little red button here, and that's a button for an electric windshield washer. This van would have relied on the spare tire for juice for the windshield washer. We've got a new exterior mirror, new visors. We've got a new headliner, so that's an authentic Volkswagen headliner in the front. And we go around, we'll show you what we've done with the custom interior and roof in the back part. We have 3-point over-the-shoulder seat belts that we've improved on, and they have the ratchet style where they're a retractable seat belt, where the standard belt wasn't retractable. This is just an upgrade. And then you can also see the gear shifter. I think the camera person can see. So this is, it says on the side there, EMPI, which is EMPI. It's an aftermarket company that makes shifters. This is an upgrade shifter, and we really like the feel of these. These are taller than the authentic one. The bushings are really nice. They do a nice upgraded job of helping with the shift pattern. And then I think I'll get in the van to show you something that's interesting on these shifters, if my legs aren't in the way. So with the shifter on these, for reverse, it's always in the original shifter. They don't have this trigger mechanism, and it's spring loaded. So on a factory stick shift, it's lower and skinnier, and they're quite wobbly. So what you do to find reverse is you go into neutral, then you have to push down on the gear shifter, pull it over to the left, and then back. And a lot of people have a lot of difficulty with that. With this style of shifter, when I'm in neutral, I just pull up on this trigger, pull over, and back, and it's a lockout feature, and it's already in reverse. And then all you do is just simply push it forward, you're in neutral, and then you go into the gears. So once again, you just pull up on this trigger, it's spring loaded, you pull it over, you hear the click, and then it goes back, and that's how simple reverse is. So we like doing this upgrade on all the Volkswagens that we do, the Beetles, Carbon Gias, and especially the buses with the taller shifter. It seems to shift quite a bit better. You can see the two-tone when I get out, the way we've masked the lines where it's finished off between the cream and the blue, and it's masked nice and neat. We have the original serial number and sticker on the inside of the door jamb, so everything's all detailed up quite well, other than my dusty footprints, which we'll have to clean up. Excuse me. Then you'll notice on the side we have this fine blue pin. We just added a little bit of a pinstriping between the two colors. It just breaks it up a little bit. That's not factory, they never did that, but I think it just gives it a little bit of a cleaner look. As we come down the driver's side, so we were talking about the louvered windows, we come back further, we've got the solid glass window here with the new rubber seal. Back tires, same as the front. They're white wall, powder coated wheels, and all new brakes. And then we come around the back, you can see where we have, once again, all new weather stripping here. You can see the accent with the nice blue pin to split up the two colors. And then we lift up the rear hatch. Pardon me, you can see how nicely we finished this off. So in here we've done, the whole interior was painted the same cream white or off-white color. This was originally going to be used as a cargo type vehicle or a promotional vehicle where it'll have the company name on the outside, and on the inside they may carry some boxes. So we took it a little bit further because I think once they start driving it, they'll probably want to drive it more. So on this back section here, we have this beautiful simulated wood. So this is quite a nice product. Years ago when the wood like this came out, I wasn't too impressed with it, to be quite honest. In the last few years, technology is incredible. So this is not water-resistant wood. This is waterproofed wood. It looks very, very real. It's extremely durable. It has a padded backing on it. And so essentially what we did, instead of having the white ribs across here, painted body color, we didn't want all the paint getting scratched. So what we did is we basically cut the pieces, these are slats, and installed them and then glued them in place. And then you'll see there's a lip or a ridge along the back here, and we were able to fit this right underneath this lip or this edge, so it's not going to lift up, plus it's also glued down. You can see the side panels here on the inside. These are all painted. Typically these sections would be wide open, so you would be able to see basically the back side of the quarter panels and inside the sliding door. So this is a special poly, a white poly that we purchased. We cut the pieces out, we used stainless steel hardware, and we basically closed off the inside. So if they're carrying items and sliding boxes in and out, it's certainly not going to scrub or catch or make any dents, which we call outies. Because if you're loading and unloading items in the van, and if it's not protected here, it's actually going to put pings and dents to the outside of the body panels. Another nice little touch we have, you can see the spare tire. So once again, this rim obviously matches the rest.
We sandblasted and powder coated that wheel the correct white. We've got a new wheel weight, and we have the new valve stem, and it's a brand new tire. Traditionally, they had a belt style to hold it in position. It's required for a safety inspection. I'm not sure if they're going to keep that tire in there. In behind here, we have an outlet for a cigarette lighter and also a USB port, and there's main power. I'll show you there's another one in the front. So they'll have access to it, but for now the spare tire is kind of in the way a little bit. So you can see we also finished the bottom side or the back side of the tailgate. It's going to be hard to see with the camera and the glare, and now the wind's picked up. But we have a panel in here also to protect that. You can see the bumper. What we've done here, it's a new bumper, and sandblasted it, and we've powder coated it this nice cream color. And you'll see these custom cutouts, because what we've done, the original engine that came in this van, did not come with the van. So what we have is a different engine, and then we've done our own exhaust, and it's all nice and tight in here. So we lift up the engine bay. You can see we've also painted the bottom side, and we have all new weather stripping. And then this is the engine itself. So it's basically it's been souped up a little bit. It's got larger pistons and rings, and we've got a mild cam in it, and then we've got dual carbs and quite a few subtle upgrades. And then the biggest upgrade is the transmission, which they refer to as a highway flyer. So the gearing is quite a bit nicer for highway speeds. We have an electronic ignition. We've got a Bosch coil. So we've got a lot of nice upgrades, and the engine runs very, very smooth, very peppy, and you can actually drive it on highways or freeways, so there's lots of power there. And then we'll just shut that, and then we'll shut this, and we come around this side. You see we have our fuel door, kind of boring, and then same deal. When you come down the side, we've got our sliding door. We've got our louvered windows that we've cranked up or cranked open, and then when we open the sliding door, excuse me, I'll just show you. There's a knob on the inside. It's on both sides for the windows. So you basically just turn this dial, and then by turning the dial, obviously that will close the windows off. And then if you want to have nice ventilation, then you just crank them open. So it's kind of a nice feature. So they're in the center of the van on both sides. Now we come into the sliding door area. I'll kind of just come in here. I think, and get out of the way for a sec. So you can see the flooring once again. Rather than having the traditional just plain steel ribbed floor, it's all new flooring. It's all been protected. And we've got all new, quite a bit of metal has been redone. And then we sanded it all inside and painted it. And then after it was painted and protected, we decided we were going to do this really nice hardwood looking floor again. So we've got this throughout. Excuse me. And then as you see in behind the driver and passenger seats, it's finished off quite well. That's normally just all fully open. So this is a black pad that goes along the top and the side to finish the side off. Same thing on the driver's side, and then we've made these panels to basically tidy up or clean up that rear section. And now when we come on the inside, I think the camera person can pick it up. So as I mentioned, the front section is the material headliner, like the factory original Volkswagen. And then this is this nice white poly. It's very, very durable. Very, very clean, and it's quite bright. So the same material we put on the sides, we've put on the top, and you can see it's in both sections, this rear section and in here. We have LED lights that we've installed. I have the switch off at the front. We've got LED lights for the interior, and then for auxiliary lighting, they're probably going to set up a table, I'm thinking, later, but they want to use it a while first. We may hook up at a later date a table that can fold down, because they may use computers and so on. So this is kind of a neat thing. This is a charging center. It's an aftermarket unit that we purchased, and then we installed it. So we have main power coming from the fuse panel supplying this charging center. So you can put a cigarette lighter in here, and then I think the camera person can pick it up. We've got two USB ports. and then we've got 2 buttons or 2 switches on the side. So this first switch, when we turn it on, it turns on LED lighting. So what we've done is we've added, and you'll see this little red light, like right now it's off. If I flip this switch, it turns the red light on. It's indicating that we have these LED lights. So they're hidden in basically this inside gutter, if you will, and then it's basically reflecting on an angle. Hopefully that'll show up in the camera. So it's reflecting onto the roof, and it's basically down the middle on both sides, and then down the sides in the back section. So at night, it basically looks kind of like a limousine inside. It's very, very bright, and it reflects the whole roof. So it's just a nice touch. I don't know how often they'll be in the van when it's dark or nighttime, but I'm imagining there'll be times when they're going to be loading and unloading the van, and there was never courtesy lights in the back of these Volkswagen vans in '72. So by using this switch system, you flip the switch on, it's basically going to kind of glow the whole interior. So then we just shut that switch off. The other switch, when we turn it on, once again the light will indicate, and that's powering this charging center. So they'll be able to plug in laptops and things of that nature and charge whatever they need to. And then when they're finished, they just basically flip the switch to shut it off. Excuse me. And then when we move to this side, this is the authentic or original Volkswagen or Westphalia setup, where we have the bench and we have some storage underneath, and we added a really nice 6x9 speaker. It's a JBL speaker system. This was like a fake wood grain kind of look to it, and it was quite dark and dreary and a lot of chips in it. So what we did is we basically covered it with this nice white product like we did the rest of the interior, and then they have some storage underneath, and then this was something that they insisted on using as this material. Normally we wouldn't have red and black, introduce a completely different color, but this is something that they wanted to have inside for the bench. So they've got 2 big pieces of foam here, and then that does fold out to a bed, which I don't think they'll ever use. But it's finished off quite nicely. There's quite a bit of room here for cargo space and cargo room. And I'll just come out of the van. Oh. And then we shut that, and we open up the passenger side, and once again you can see how nice and tidy it is. We've got the new plugs there in the floor where they had rust-proofed it. We've got the new rubber step on the bumper, all new rubber flooring, and then you can see on this side with the underneath the dash, the JBL speakers and the stereo up in the dash. So, pardon me. So this is basically the finished product of this van. It turned out very, very well. It was extremely rusty. It was a very tired van. It's been a Canadian van its whole life, and so it's almost ready to go back to the client. So this is the 1972 Volkswagen Transporter. I thank you for watching. I'm John from lastchanceautorest.com.